Hi there, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be building this beautiful cottage in Brindleton Bay. In case any of you guys didn't know, Brindleton Bay is the world that came with the expansion pack Cottage Living, and it's a beautiful, beautiful world. I love it. I think it's so pretty, it's so green, it has a lot of these flowers and just nature all around. So today I will only be using cottage living and base game, so you guys can kind of have an overview of this pack. I'm sure all of you have used it and you know, but you can kind of, I just wanted to kind of showcase what you can make out of this and how pretty it can be. And it's not typically something that I tend to build. I'm more of a person that likes to build more modern builds and just like more contemporary. But these kind of builds I absolutely love seeing, and I think they just look so cozy, so inviting, and it's just so pretty. It just brings, for me, like I feel like it brings just like a smile on the inside, like just seeing this. So for today, what I was envisioning for this cottage was that we would have a couple living here. It would be a grandma and a grandpa that have spent their whole life working hard and building this house up, and they've managed to renovate it to make it very cute, and now they just live their life, just taking care of their backyard and just having their little chicken coop, making all the food, going to the market, and just waiting for their grandchildren to come around and play with them. So what I did for this cottage was, we have a 2-bedroom cottage. One room is going to be for the grandparents, and the second room is kind of like a room that's made for their grandchildren, because they're just their life and they adore them. So yeah, I kind of, on the outside, you guys can kind of see all these things that are from this expansion pack from Cottage Living, all these windows as well as the doors. I feel like I don't get to use them often because it's a very specific style, so it's not like you can use it in every single build. But when you do, I think it just creates such a magical and beautiful build. So I just kind of tried to embrace that and try and use everything that I could. I went for this baby blue color, and I think this is my favorite color. Like, it's so pretty, like this exact shade of it. I just feel like it looks stunning. I am very much like a neutral person when it comes to colors. Like, I love beige. If everything around me can be beige, I probably would. So a lot of times you'll see in my builds, it takes a lot out of me to put a lot of like bright colors, and I do try and do it sometimes. Like, I just did a build the other day and it was like a bright orange, but I just still feel like I kind of made it look neutral, if that makes sense. But it's like this bright fire orange, and yeah, I'll try and do that. But mostly I'm just, my kind of comfort zone is just these like modern, more neutral types of builds. And every now and then it's always nice to get out of your comfort zone and try and build something, and like try and do something that you don't build every day, because it gets repetitive and boring if you don't do that. So that was kind of like the goal today as well. And I use this floor, if you just saw me put this like stones with these beautiful blue flowers in between, they kind of fit perfectly with this build, and I was so happy with that. I've never actually used them before, but yeah, today it was just so fitting, and I'll try and use them more. I think they would fit a lot of other builds as well. And when I did this build, I tried to put a lot of effort to the outside of this house, and I just wanted it to look so beautiful and whimsical. I added so many flowers in the front. I wanted it to be like a beautiful garden that our sweet grandma takes care of, and it's just her pride and joy. And in the back, I added this backyard. I think I kind of made it too small, because initially I completely forgot that this pack came with the barn and you can add all these big animals as well. So I just kind of made it a bit smaller, and I couldn't really fit that in. I think I'll try and fit it in at some point as well, but it didn't really work out. But that can be, if you guys decide to play with this house, or if I actually decide to play with it as well, that can be kind of like a future goal. And also, like, doing all these builds is actually making me really want to do some playtime as well, because I haven't been playing, I've just been building the whole time, and I think it would be so much fun to just try and like do a whole storyline and live in my builds because I really like them. But I also think that doing videos like that, I feel like it's more fun. At least when I watch videos like that, I think it's always more fun when you can see the person's face. And so yeah, I might do that in the future when I reveal my face. If I do it, we'll see, hopefully. But yeah, so I'm just waiting for that. I think it will be so much fun. I like watching those challenges and watching people do it, but it's always more fun when you can see the person's face and you can see their reaction, and it's just more personal that way. So here right now, we're just going to be kind of adding these finishing touches to our backyard. I added these like garden patches because I thought they were a bit bigger so you can have all your plants and stuff like that. Like our grandpa can have them there and help the grandma take care of them, as well as the chicken coop, and just have like a lot of space to kind of work with. And yeah, I also added a lot of paint terrain paint, paint terrain paint. And it's a great way. I talked about it in my previous video. I love adding it because it just adds a bit of more real look to the house. Just having all these patches of just kind of like dirt coming out, because if you think about this place, like they've been living there and working there and like just walking every day, and these chickens have been outside this chicken coop all day, so I think it's like more realistic to have that. So now we're just pretty much finishing our outside. We're all done with it, and we're gonna go and move on to the indoors. So on the inside of this house, I really struggled with the floor plan actually, because initially this house was a little bit smaller. So I thought it was a bit too small, so I made it bigger, and that way we can fit the two rooms. But I didn't realize that it was actually still pretty small, which I ended up being very happy with, because these houses in general, I feel like they're not meant to be super spacious and like just very big. They're supposed to be smaller and they're supposed to be very cozy, but sometimes that can be kind of a headache when you're doing these builds, because it's very hard to try and fit everything in, which, and you can see me right here, I'm struggling with fitting. I really wanted to have a bathroom here, so I was just trying to find the best way so the other rooms can also be usable and not have a super awkward shape, which is, this is pretty much like what we end up with. And yeah, we're going to be adding all these things from Cottage Living to make the space look realistic. As I said, I feel like this whole like house on the inside, I kind of tried making it a little bit, I tried making it as a cottage, but I also didn't want it to be super worn out. I still wanted it to be like a little bit newer, but I still used everything from these packs to make sure that it's authentic and it looks cute. So hopefully I'll achieve that. On this left side, when you enter, I wanted this to be the living room, and then in the back we would have our kitchen. So I just used this kind of green blue color, whatever you want to call this. I guess it's blue more than green, I'd say. And I might actually have like issue with colors because I always struggle with knowing what they are. Is it teal? I'll go with teal. So yeah, I went with this couch, and that's kind of like how everything started. So I put this couch down, and then I decided to just go with this color scheme and have this in the whole kitchen and the living room. And I really wanted this house to have a fireplace, because I feel like most of these houses would have that, and it just adds that very, very homey feel to it, in my opinion. And here I was just struggling on where to put it and like what to do with it. And I had here for a second, I kind of thought, do I do a light blue and I just matched the inside to the outside? But I just felt like that was tiny bit much. So yeah, eventually we will go back to that color. And initially I really wanted to use this hallway table, or like this TV stand, whatever that is. I really wanted to use it because I don't think I've ever used it. But in the end, I just didn't think it fit the vibe, and I just changed it for this hallway table that came with Cottage Living. And that's where I'm going to be changing the color of the couch as well, because it just looked very pretty in this deep color, and I think it looks just cozy and very, very pretty. We're also going to be adding this what's it called, this is a mushroom, like a mushroom poof, which I think it's so cute, and it's one of my favorite things that came with this pack. I think it's just so adorable. And we're gonna move on to our little dining room, and as you can see here, everything's very kind of confined and it's small, and I love that. I think that just adds so much to the feeling of it being homey and inviting. I also used for the first time ever this corner kitchen cabinet. I never get to use these. Like, I don't know why, but I rarely do like kitchens and like rooms that have this like weird shape. So yeah, it was so nice. I made this and I was like, oh my god, I can finally use it. And it looks so cute. It adds to the clutter. It's absolutely beautiful. And now we're just going to be adding this fridge and the stove that are both from this pack as well. And I just think that this fridge, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like a Smeg fridge, which are very bougie, and obviously it's not that, but it just gives me that vibe, and I love the look of this fridge. I do use it quite a lot in other builds as well. And yeah, here you can see me kind of going like I was in the kitchen, now I'm in the living room, because I tend to do that when I'm only using one pack, because sometimes I'll have everything shown that comes with that pack. So I'll see things and I'll be like, oh, this would look very cute in this room, and I've never used it before. So I'll go like back and forth. I also use these curtains. These curtains are actually base game, but I thought they went with this like kind of like more of a vintage vibe. And now I'm just adding all the clutter items to the kitchen because I do want it to look very cozy, because I would think that our little grandma would be making all the delicious food for her grandchildren and just be there all day long. So I also have this back door that leads us to our backyard, and I will be adding more clutter there just to make sure she has all her kind of him and her as well have all their essentials for like gardening and everything. So now we go into this room, and I was kind of debating on using this red like bed because I wanted something that would kind of tie in with these wallpapers that I have currently there, and they had a lot of red and blue. So I was trying to use that red, but it didn't really work, so I changed to this blue. I thought it looked a little bit more just it fit more with this wallpaper and everything, and it wasn't as loud as the previous one. And I also added this little vanity, and you can see me adding this little mushroom chair again, because I just thought that's one of my favorite things. So I just had to have like two of those. And we're pretty much done with their room, and we're gonna go and move on to our bathroom. And in our bathroom, we're going to be kind of going for the same style. I tried using things from this pack. I really wanted to use this bathtub, but there was just something in me that I cannot build a Sims build and not have a shower. I feel like it's a crime if you do that. I cannot play in a house that doesn't have a shower. So even though for the looks it would have looked nice, I'm still posting this to my gallery, and I know I would be so annoyed to play in a house without a shower. So I just changed it to this one, just to make it more kind of functional if anyone does decide to download it. Just because if you don't have a shower and you played Sims, you know how slow your sim is to draw the damn bath and then get into it, and like it just takes forever, literally. So I also added a little clutter items. This is the only bath we have in this house, which is normal and it's enough for a small house like this. So I just tried kind of cluttering up the space and make it look like we have our little grandparents living here as well as their grandchildren. I also added some shelves that are with our towels and their little bathrobes to have here hanging, and we're pretty much now finished with this room, and we're moving on to our grandchildren's room. I added this double bed just because this room was so small and I just had to kind of save space. I also kind of had this idea that would have these a boy and a girl living in this, not living, but like kind of coming to this room, and that's their room. And I really had kind of this vision of them coming every time they finish their school, so their parents would drive them here and leave them here for weekends, and they would bring their kind of homework and just do their homework, enjoy the nature, and then go back to their parents eventually. So I really wanted to fit two tables here or two desks, but unfortunately, because I was only using Cottage Living and base game, they don't have any smaller table, only smaller desks. Sorry, I keep on saying table. I guess desk is the correct term. So yeah, they only have these, and this was like the smallest desk that I found. So I just had to put this one, and I couldn't fit two of these because this room was already so small, and I really wanted to fit a dresser in here as well. So I kind of just put this one in, and I was thinking they would be sharing it. They have plenty of room in the dining room as well to be doing their homework and whatever else they need to be doing. And I added kind of like double of everything to this room, and I tried adding a bit of their personalities. And in my head, it would be a boy and a girl, and they'd be sharing this. So I tried adding a bit of pink and a bit of blue, but also like other colors as well. So now we're just gonna add some finishing touches to this room. We're gonna add some wallpaper to this to try and kind of get the room to fit in more with the house. Just because these beds, especially like the bottom one, I felt like it didn't really match the vibe of the house as much, but I still wanted it to be like a boy bed, so I still left it. I just added this kind of checkered wallpaper, and I feel like it kind of brought it together and made it look like it belongs more with the house. And we're just gonna add like a little cute rug for the kids to have, and we're all done. Let me know how you guys feel about this house, if you liked it, and thanks everyone for all the support. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna leave you guys with some screenshots of what the house looks like, and I'll see you guys next time.